Let's cook something. So these are the instructions just real quickly for those who chose the Cook Something project. I want to give you a little bit more explanation for what we're doing. So what we're doing is we're taking a recipe. In this case, my original recipe was 2.5 cups of sugar, 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now this recipe was for 10 people. That was for 10 people. Now we want enough for everyone in our class so that we can share for everyone. So in this case, 10 people just won't cut it. We're going to say that we have 30 people in our class. That's not exactly right, but it's close enough for our purposes. So we'll say there are 30 people in our class. And we want to know how many recipes, how many batches of our recipe we need to make so that we can have enough for all 30 people. And to do that, we're going to use a proportion. We're going to set up a proportion. You can see here we have a rate. We have 1 over 10, and we have 2 different units. We have 1 recipe to 10 people. So we need to set up on the other side of our proportion just the same. We need to have those same units in the same relationship. So we have 30 people, then obviously this will be the number of recipes for 30 people. And we'll use X to do that. And we'll set up our proportion, and then we'll cross multiply. First we'll cross multiply this way, 10 times X. So 10x is equal to 1 times 30. So 1 times 30 is 30. Then we'll solve our equation. So we'll make sure that we'll do the inverse operation. 10 times x. So we'll use the inverse of multiplication, which is division. We'll divide by 10 here. That will allow us to cross that out because 10 divided by 10 is just 1. That leaves us with 1x, or just x. Over here, to keep our equation balanced, we have to divide on this side as well, because whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side to keep it balanced. 30 divided by 10 is just 3. So x is equal to 3. I'm going to take my recipe and triple it. So I'll make sure that I just cross this out here and I'll put 3. I'm going to triple my recipe. Now, for just a moment, you'll notice that we have down here something called constant of proportionality. I'm not sure if you'll remember this from when we talked about it in class, but constant of proportionality in this particular instance is what we're going to multiply everything that we do, every unit, every serving that we originally had in our original recipe. So in this case, one recipe, we found that we needed to multiply it by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So 1 times 3, we're going to multiply every measurement that we use in our recipe by 3, and that's going to be our constant of proportionality. In this particular recipe, the way we're doing it, we're setting it up so that we're multiplying everything by 3. So your constant of proportionality may be different based on your recipe and the number of times you had to whether double it or triple it, but it will be the same in this particular column. So if you had to double your recipe, then this would be 2 on yours. If you just had to triple your recipe, it would be 3. If you had to quadruple your recipe, it would be 4. You'll just use the same number in all of these, and that will be your constant of proportionality. Now, we need to go about the work of actually converting this recipe over. So we have 2.5 cups of sugar. We've already done that here. Let's go to 3 cups of flour. So we'll put down flour here. Flour. And we're measuring it, as we can see, in cups. So we'll put down our cups here. And my original number was 3. I had 3 cups of flour, so I'll put down 3 there. And my constant of proportionality is what, again, if I'm tripling it, I'm multiplying everything by. So I know that 3 times 3 is going to give me 9, but I want to set up a proportion for it. So I know that for one recipe, I needed to have 3 cups of flour. So I have 1 over 3. I want to set up my proportion. Now, I know in my new recipe, I'm going to have 3 batches or 3 recipes of it. So how many cups of flour will I have? And we'll leave that as x. Now when I cross multiply, I get x equal to 9. So 9 cups of flour. 9 cups of flour once I'm finished. Let's do it again. We'll take the amount of butter that we have. So we'll write butter over here. Everything is better with butter, or so I'm told. We don't use a lot of butter in our household, but that's okay. When we have tablespoons here, so the abbreviation, if I remember correctly, is TBSP, 2 tablespoons of butter. And there's our constant of proportionality. Now again, we know we're going to multiply 2 times 3, so we're going to get 6. But let's set up our proportion, because that's what we're told to do. One recipe is 2 tablespoons of butter. 3 recipes will be how many tablespoons of butter? Well, we multiply 1 times x, which gives us x. X is equal to 2 times 3, 6. We have 6 tablespoons of butter. Last one, we'll take our teaspoons of vanilla. So we'll write vanilla over here. Vanilla. And we're measuring that in teaspoons. So we'll take our teaspoons and put that there, TSP. And we have 2 of them. Again, we know we're going to have 6. 2 times 3 is going to be 6, but let's set up our proportion. 1 recipe has 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 3 recipes will have how many teaspoons of vanilla? It will have x is equal to 6, so we know 6 teaspoons of vanilla. And there you go. That'll be just enough for you to do for your recipe. Now, your recipe may have, I don't know, 45 different ingredients for all I know. You'll use all the space that you need to fill those out, and then you'll finish up the rest of the packet. Hopefully that helps, and enjoy cooking something.